I always thought betrayal was something that happened to other people. You read about it in magazines. Over here, whispers about it at office water coolers. Maybe even watch it unfold in movies. But never do you think it'll creep into your home, into your bed, into the person you've trusted most in the world. For me, that illusion shattered on a rainy Thursday night. Rachel and I had been married for 9 years. We weren't perfect, but we were steady. We had our routines. Lazy Sunday mornings, her head resting on my chest while coffee brewed in the kitchen, the way she laughed at sitcom reruns even though she knew every line. I thought those little things were enough to hold us together forever. But then, the little cracks started showing. She was quieter around me. Her phone was suddenly glued to her side, even when she went to the bathroom. She'd smile at texts and tuck her hair behind her ear, a gesture I remembered as mine once upon a time. I told myself I was imagining it. That marriage simply goes through phases. That work stress was weighing on her. But suspicion is a seed. You water it with doubt, and it grows until it suffocates everything else. One night, while she showered, her phone lit up on the nightstand. A message preview appeared. Can't stop thinking about last night. My hands went cold. I didn't touch her phone, didn't open the thread, though every part of me screamed to. Instead, I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at those words. Last night, when she came out of the bathroom, hair damp, cheeks flushed, she kissed me lightly and climbed into bed as if nothing had happened. I just lay there, awake, feeling like a stranger had climbed into our marriage. Days turned into weeks. I became a detective in my own home, watching her, noticing the way she dressed better for girls' nights. The perfume she only wore when I wasn't around. Then came the night I followed her. She said she was meeting her friend Clara for drinks. But I saw Clara post a photo online at a family dinner in another city. My chest tightened. I grabbed my car keys and drove, keeping distance as I trailed her Uber into the city. She stepped out near a hotel, and waiting by the entrance was a man I had never seen before. Tall, rugged, with a dark jacket and a kind of careless confidence that made me instantly hate him. Rachel's face lit up in a way I hadn't seen in months. She walked straight into his arms. They kissed passionately, like teenagers sneaking behind the gym. And then, hand in hand, they disappeared through the hotel doors. I sat in my car, trembling, my knuckles white against the steering wheel. A stranger. She had thrown away nearly a decade of marriage for a man whose name I didn't even know. The next morning, Rachel walked into the kitchen humming softly, pouring herself coffee. I stared at her, memorizing the lines of her face, wondering how much of her was still mine. "I know," I said quietly. She froze. "Know what?" "That you've been seeing someone. That stranger. At the hotel." Her mug slipped slightly in her hand, clinking against the counter. For a moment, she looked at me, eyes wide with terror, and then she crumbled. Tears rolled down her face. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she whispered. "It was supposed to be nothing. Just one night. But what?" I snapped. "But it felt good. But he made you feel something I couldn't." She sobbed, clutching her mug as though it could anchor her. I felt invisible, Mark. Like I was disappearing in my own life. He saw me. He listened. He made me feel alive again. I laughed bitterly. "So you gave him what you promised me. You gave him us." That night, she slept in the guest room. I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, the echo of her confession replaying in my head. A part of me wanted to throw her out, to end it right there. Another part wanted to hold her, to fix what was broken. When morning came, she begged me to forgive her. She swore it was over. She swore the stranger meant nothing compared to what we had built. But betrayal has a way of rewriting history. Every memory we had was tainted. Every laugh, every kiss, every whispered promise. Suddenly fragile, suddenly suspect. I don't know if love can survive when trust is dead. It's been 6 months since that night. She's still here. We're trying, counseling, long talks, nights of raw honesty. Sometimes I see a flicker of the woman I married. Other times, I see only the woman who walked into a hotel with a stranger. The truth is, I don't know if we'll make it. I don't know if I'll ever be able to look at her without imagining his hands on her, his lips where mine used to be. What I do know is this: love isn't destroyed in one grand explosion. It dies in pieces, in little lies, in stolen nights, in strangers who slip between two people who once swore forever. And sometimes the deepest betrayal isn't from an enemy. It's from the person who promised never to hurt you. Counseling became our ritual. Once a week, Rachel and I sat in a dim office with leather chairs, answering questions meant to heal us. But no matter how much she cried or how often she swore she loved me, I couldn't stop seeing the hotel door closing behind her. One night, after another session where she insisted she was rebuilding trust, I finally asked a question that had haunted me. Why a stranger? Her lips trembled. She looked down at her hands, twisting her wedding ring. Because he didn't know me. Because with him, I wasn't a wife or a mother or someone's responsibility. I was just Rachel. The words cut deep in the betrayal itself. She had chosen a stranger not despite his distance, but because of it. That was the night I realized no amount of therapy could give me back the man I was before. The letter. A week later, I found a folded letter on my nightstand. Her handwriting covered the page, shaky but deliberate. Asterisk mark. If love was enough, I would never have looked elsewhere. But love got buried under years of silence, routine, and distance. I take full blame for my choice. The stranger was nothing compared to you, but he was a mirror reflecting what I thought I had lost, being seen. I know I broke us. I know I shattered the one thing you gave me that no one else ever could, your trust. If you walk away, I won't stop you. If you stay, I'll spend the rest of my life proving I can be the woman you believed in. Yours, Rachel. Asterisk. I read that letter until the ink smudged from my fingers. The next evening, we sat across from each other at the kitchen table. No counselor, no script, just us. I read your letter, I said. Her eyes were already glassy with tears. And I took a deep breath. Rachel, I've loved you for almost a decade, but love can't erase betrayal. I don't want to spend the rest of my life wondering where you are or who you're with. I don't want to live with shadows in our bed. She covered her mouth, sobbing. Please, Mark, don't do this. Don't throw us away. I'm not throwing us away, I said softly. You already did. I'm just refusing to live in the wreckage. Her body folded in on itself as the weight of my words sank in. I packed my things that night. She begged, clutched my arm, whispered promises of change. But the truth was, the man who had trusted her no longer existed. As I closed the door behind me, I felt both the deepest sorrow and the strangest relief. Out in the cool night air, I realized something. Betrayal had destroyed my marriage, but it hadn't destroyed me. It had forced me to face the painful truth that sometimes the person you give your whole heart to can hand it to a stranger. And when that happens, the bravest thing you can do is walk away. It's been a year since I left. Rachel reached out a few times, but I never responded. I needed distance to heal, and maybe she needed the silence to understand the full weight of her choices. I've started living again. New places, new faces, and slowly, a new version of myself that isn't defined by her betrayal. Sometimes I still wonder about the man she met, the stranger who walked into my life without ever knowing my name. But I don't wonder about her anymore. Because the truth is, my wife's affair with a stranger didn't just end our marriage. It gave me back myself.